What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Darkhorse Dental Success Pod. We finally have a name, and I'm your host, Ruben Camp. Welcome to episode 3, and I have the pleasure of having on Dr. Danielle Davis. Danielle, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. And I want to have Danielle on because when I think of Danielle, I think she crushes it in marketing, crushes it in the Instagram game. She's willing to help. She's not scared about giving out tips. And she's literally the best wife in the world. Like her husband in the last 6 months got a brand new Tesla and a drone. So Danielle, explain yourself.
I opened my startup back in May of 2018. Austin actually just opened his startup in February of 2020, but we've just enjoyed it. We've enjoyed helping people. We've enjoyed building these businesses together, and we've learned a lot.
That's awesome. And we almost didn't work together.
Almost.
Almost. She had the IT guy from hell, and she said, "Well, Ruben, I don't think we can work together." And then it was a great call. It came back from the dead. And so, if you wouldn't mind sharing, because I consider you a very high functioning, successful person. If you wouldn't mind sharing with people that aren't there yet in their careers, maybe they're thinking about leaving their terrible corporate environment. What were some of your biggest successes and failures along the way of getting this practice? And then obviously you helped, Austin wasn't really involved. You pretty much opened that practice by yourself. So take credit for both of those.
It was definitely a team effort. But we started out just like anybody. We had terrible jobs, and we finally just pulled the trigger, and we did mine first, obviously, and then we did his. It's scary, but when you finally pull the trigger and do it, it's the best thing in the world. It's financially, mentally, just you enjoy your job satisfaction just rockets. You worked for somebody else before. It's so much better working for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people know that. Yeah, I worked for Benco, which they try to have an IT company, but it's not really their passion.
Yeah. Well, and you can just make stuff exactly how you want it to be. So when you're in an associate position, your hands are kind of tied. What goes on, you have no say with. This, on the other hand, you have all the say with. At the same time, you also have to figure out all of the speed bumps and the failures along the way, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah. How did you develop your marketing plan? Because it as just a layman watching you on Instagram, it looks like you have a plan together. Where a lot of people, you see them do a burst of content that you don't see anything for months on end. What are some techniques that you use to kind of stay on your game?
Lately, especially on social media, I've got an assistant who helps me post stuff. That's part of her job, is she posts a lot on our Instagram. But marketing is one of those things that you should never skimp on. It actually gets butts in your chair, which is super important. So we always recommend that when people do a startup, this is one place you don't want to cut corners. You set a budget for your marketing, make it like it's your rent. You have to spend that money on marketing every single month. Sometimes it's hard, if you should have a $5,000 a month marketing budget. When you don't have any money, that's scary. But I promise you that's going to get a lot better return than, a fancy ADEC chair or some CEREC or something like that. You've got to let people know that you're there and let people know why you're good. And you just want to humanize yourself. You don't want to just have a really clinical, stuffy page. Show people your personality. And it goes a long way. And a lot of people also want to outsource every little bit. And I feel like it's really important, especially as a new owner, that you know exactly how marketing works. How do Google ads work? How does every door direct mail work? How does Instagram analytics and Facebook work? How do you get your posts seen? And when you do it, you're on your own, you also save a ton of money, because so much of your Google ads budget would be taken up with their fees, versus you can actually put all that money towards getting eyes on your website or whatever it is.
Right. So because you're probably farther along than even I am in terms of knowledge of individual, whether it's funnels on Facebook or Instagram and your marketing strategy. What did you consume? I'm sure you went full Rain Man before you opened up your practice hitting the books, but what did you consume to get yourself to where you are now?
There's so many resources. You can look at people's startup journeys on, Dental Town. You can Google about Google Analytics and everything like that, how Google's algorithms are always changing. All you have to do is sit your butt down and read. And then you just have to look at, when we did Every Door Direct Mail, I looked at mailers and figured out what I liked. What did I want to see? You don't want to, everybody does like this, free whitening, free this, like stupid stuff like that. Like if you do something different, you'll get different results. But if you do what everybody's always done, you can kind of expect to get what everybody's always gotten.
Yeah, it's very true. And touching back on what you said, having a story and a purpose and a why is really important. It really hones if I know anything about marketing, it's keep it simple. Keep it understandable, and dentists, you're an engineer, like I'm an IT engineer. We have a tendency to use words and lingo that normal people don't understand. I run into this problem talking to dentists all the time. So there's another thing that you started, the Dental Wizard, right? What is the Dental Wizard?
So we learned a ton from sifting through Dental Town, looking on Facebook groups. We went to Breakaway. The Dental Startup Wizard, it was just our startup journey and like what we have done step by step to open our offices, because there are a million little pieces that you have to put together. And if you don't do your homework on the front end, you're going to hurt on the back end. We have both been so blessed to be very successful from the start, but it is not because we sat on our butts. It's because we busted our butts.
Yeah. You guys are some of the most hardworking people I know, and doing their homework. I mean, there's that time you have before you actually open, and then now you're seeing patients and managing and hiring, and like you need to treat that time like gold when you have it. The closest thing I had right now was when COVID hit. We had 60% reduction in support calls. So did we sit around and sit on our hands and go, woe is me? No, we were like, you know what? We're going to make everyone better. We're going to train. We're going to build better SOPs. And our company is so much better. I mean, I hate to say it. I never wanted COVID to happen. But if I just think from a talent, like systems side of things, we're so much better of a company because we took the time that we had and we really used it efficiently and effectively.
Well, you don't want to let life ever happen to you. You want to make life happen. And so COVID was a terrible situation. Like we used it. We're never expecting to throw out Dental Startup Wizard when we did, but we were like, we've got a lot of time on our hands. A lot of people have a lot of time on their hands. Let's let them take a look at this. Let's let them consume this content. Let's see what we're doing. Let's make our businesses stronger. Let's look at, the back end of things. Let's make sure that everything's buttoned up tight. So when we get back, we can be back stronger than ever.
And where can people go to find that?
It's www.dentalstartupwizard.com.
I'm surprised that was available. Like, I probably should have bought that just as
late.
So thank you. You're very busy. You have a newborn as well. So, I mean, eat props for coming on as well for that. Any, let's say, final words of wisdom for a young doctor looking to hang their shingle?
I think you just need to do your homework and trust your gut and accept help along the way, but realize that the only person who's really looking out for your best interest is you. Yeah. You've got to get a good team of people. There's places to cut. There's places to splurge. Like you said, I almost did not use Darkhorse for my startup, and it was almost epically tragic. So there's certain things that you just, you need to be smart about where you spend your time and where you spend your money, because you've got more time in the world when you're an associate. When you're an owner, now you've got staff issues. Now you've got patient issues. Now you have insurance and AR and everything else. So you just work hard and it will pay off 100-fold.
So you would say, instead of buying that $30,000 massage heated dental chair, spend it on marketing?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again. You're a very busy person. It was obviously an honor of mine to work for you. So we still work together, but to do the startup with you and Austin, your trust in me, and especially you, because you got to me early on in the process when, now we have things very nailed down, but back then it was just raw, like emotion, and like, we're going to get the job done, whether we have to stay here till 11 at night. And, obviously it got done and you were happy. You didn't have to see that messy side of things, but it just, business owner, friend to friend, thank you for taking a chance on me.
You guys have been so awesome. Even when things, were newer, you guys always got the job done. You did what you said we were going to do. You did it on time. I was so grateful for everything you guys have done for both mine and Austin's office.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us today. And this will conclude episode 3. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Danielle.
We did it.